you know, there's not many things in life that I like genuinely hate. Like I hate paying taxes. I hate liars. I hate ungrateful ass bitches. I hate I don't know. There's not too many things in life I hate, but there are a list of things in life that I hate. And on that list also happens to be the Dallas Cowboys. And unfortunately for me, they won yesterday against the Bucs. They actually beat the shit out the Bucs. And I actually have to come on this platform and give them praise. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I like to pride myself in is that I'm unbiased and I just tell the truth, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and unfortunately for me, I have to come on this motherfucking platform and give the Cowboys praise. And I dislike the Dallas Cowboys for so many fucking reasons. So many reasons. I know in the media it's okay to like, oh, it's like this run-on joke, like, oh, fuck the Cowboys or whatever. No, but I genuinely have disliked the Cowboys since 2007. You know, it's funny. So in 2007, one of the very first playoff games that I ever watched in the NFL was when the Cowboys played the Seahawks and Tony Romo fumbled the snap for the game-winning field goal, and then he picked the ball up and tried to run, and then he got tackled, and So that was one of the first playoff games I actually watched where I actually understood football. I think the very first football game I ever watched was the Rams and Titans Super Bowl, but at that time I was such a young kid that I didn't even understand the rules or know exactly what the fuck was going on. Years later, I watched the Tony Romo game with the infamous snap hold botch, and yeah, ever since then I've just genuinely disliked the Cowboys. I have a plethora of reasons why I don't like the Cowboys, but I'm not really going to get into that. But what I will get into is exactly what happened yesterday in the game. And damn, it's kind of crazy that I had to actually sit here and give them credit and give them praise because I feel like I, just like a lot of other people, wanted to see them fucking lose because a good amount of NFL fans don't like the Cowboys. But I had to give credit to where credit is due. They beat the shit out of the Bucs. They literally – that shit looked like a put on. That shit was bad. It was ugly. And it got really, really ugly, and it got out of hand very, very fast. And as I'm watching the game, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Because honestly, it looked like the Bucs didn't practice all week, honestly. And me and my homie AD, shout out Ashton Dennis, we are fans of really, really struggling franchises in the NFL. AD is a Jets fan. I am a Jaguars fan. Combined, we're probably like in the bottom tier in terms of wins over the past decade in NFL history. So this season, we both agreed that, you know what, all we want is to look competitive on game day. Like, you know what, we don't necessarily have to win games, but as long as we're competitive and we're not an easy W for any team on our schedule, that's all we can hope for. You know what I mean? But both of us had our expectations. We had to adjust our expectations because our teams actually started playing good, winning games, and then my team actually made the playoffs. But his team down the stretch of the season had the chance to make the playoffs if they actually had decent quarterback play. And honestly, the Bucs didn't look like they practiced all week. It looked like they just showed up to play, and it just was actually very, very bad. As much as I want to down the Bucs, I actually have to give credit to the Cowboys. Specifically Dak Prescott, because he played the best game I've ever seen him play as a professional athlete. I've never seen Dak Prescott play as good as he did. At one point he had 11 straight completions, and as I'm about to give credit to Dak Prescott, I also have to give credit to Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore coached circles around Todd Bowles. Kellen Moore coached. I'm gonna emphasize Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy coached circles around Todd Bowles. Dak Prescott had 5 touchdowns. He was responsible for 5 scores, 4 through the air and 1 rushing. When the Bucs went to cover 3, cover 4, he was just ripping them apart in the seams. He was doing whatever he wanted to the Bucs defense, and honestly, it was just I was getting frustrated watching that shit because I wanted them to lose. And the most important thing is Dak finally broke his turnover. His turnover streak. Like Dak has had 6. I think since he came back into the starting lineup, he turned the ball over at least once every single game that he's played. And I guess it's good that he broke that. I guess he just reminded people like what type of quarterback he can be. I'm a realistic person, though. As good as Dak played this week, I don't see him playing that good next week against the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to dominate the Cowboys, but that's just what I think. I also have to give credit to the Cowboys defense. Honestly, the Cowboys defense really stood the fuck up. If I'm not mistaken, I think that they shut out the Bucs in the first half. Or if they didn't, it was probably – they didn't shut them out. I know they only – yeah, I think they might have actually shut them out. Give me 1 second. Let me check on that. Did they shut them out in the first half? I'm going to find out right now. Let's see. So the Bucs – yeah, they were shut out in the first half. It was 18-0 at halftime. But the Cowboys defense, the whole time I was watching the game, I was just sitting there. I'm just like, man, is the Cowboys D this good? I mean, obviously in spurts throughout the season that they have showed us and shown that how good they were, especially when Cooper Rush was the quarterback and he started, I think, like 4 or 5 games. The Bucs defense was crazy, like crazy. I was thinking, like, is the Cowboys, but like down the stretch of the season, the Cowboys defense has been bad. Like against the Eagles, they got shredded by Gardner Minshew. Against the Jaguars, they got shredded by Trevor Lawrence. Against a lot of good teams, they got shredded. Like I said, I was thinking, is the Cowboys defense this good, or is the Bucs offense just look this fucking terrible, or is it all the above, to be honest? And I think it was all the above. And the Cowboys defense was only credited with 2 sacks, but they had so many fucking pressures. I remember in the first half, they sent a blitz, and Leonard Fournette was supposed to pick up Leighton Vander Esch, and he tried to block him. It didn't really work, and Leighton Vander Esch was still able to get to Tom Brady and hinder his throwing lane. And Tom Brady's pass went straight to the ground. Like, it flew a couple yards, went straight to the ground. And then Tom Brady was, like, very, very upset. And I was just looking at that like, okay, that's not a sack, but that literally led straight to the incompletion. That's, like, literally they didn't pick up the blitz effectively, and then that's what happened. And, man, credit to the Cowboys defense, man. They came outside. They came out, and they played like a pack of crazed dogs. They were just all over the place making plays. They shut out the Bucs in the first half. They were making plays. The DBs were not only the DBs were aggressive. When the only time that the Bucs got into the red zone in the first half, they shut them out. They got a pick, which was a fucking horrible interception by Tom Brady. That shit was just bad. It looked like he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds, but no, that shit went no. It was just bad. And the DBs were aggressive. The linebackers were aggressive. The defensive line was aggressive. Honestly, all credit to the Cowboys, man. All credit to the Cowboys. Man, they played a complete game, and honestly, I was just sitting there watching the game, just in awe, like just shocked. Let me get on the Bucs real quick. Man, the Bucs had no answer for Dak Prescott whatsoever, and Tom Brady, in what I think is not what I think, and I know this for a fact. This will be Tom Brady's final game with the Bucs. He's leaving. Like, he's gonna find a better situation. He's leaving. In his final game with the Bucs, he threw the ball 66 times. There's no reason why a 46-year-old quarterback should be throwing the – oh, is he 46 or 45? A 46-year-old quarterback should be throwing the ball 66 times in a playoff game. Like, it just begs the question, like, what's up with the rushing attack? Why isn't Leonard Fournette getting carries? Why isn't Leonard Fournette – like, Leonard Fournette had, like, 9 carries. 9 carries. The Bucs defense was trash. The Bucs offense was trash. So many drops, so many they were ineffective all fucking night. And it was just a very pitiful performance, to be honest. Just extremely pitiful. I don't, and I'm being nice by saying pitiful. They were fucking trash. That's the nicest way I could put it. They were fucking trash. They were fucking trash. They were trash from start to finish. They couldn't sustain drives. The only time they got in the red zone, interception. It was just bad. The offensive line couldn't protect. He was getting rushed, blitzed, pressured every fucking second. I mean, it was just a terrible showing. Honestly, the rushing attack was non-existent. Which is the crazy thing is, to the Cowboys who have one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, you couldn't run the ball. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And I mean, there's not really much left to say. Not really much left to say.